Hey guys, how's it going? This is Miss Whittington. We're going to talk about our class requests for next year. I know, like, just from some of the feedback that I got back from some of the other videos, this is something that you guys are really concerned about. Some of you are anxious or worried about it, but I'm going to walk you through the process. So what I need for you to have right now is a sheet of paper and a writing utensil of some sort. So if you could go ahead and get those out for me, I'd appreciate it. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about that's different, a lot different than anything that you've ever experienced in school is block schedule. Block schedule means that you're going to take 8 classes next year. You're going to take 4 in the fall semester and 4 in the spring semester. Those classes are about 85 to 90 minutes long. So essentially what you're doing is a year's worth of work in one semester. What that also means is at CMS, for example, you've had the same teacher from the beginning of the year all the way to the end of the year. At CMS, you have something called cumulative grading, which means that you can go back and turn in work from a few months ago. It means that you've had grades since August all the way up to May. So when you have a lot of grades, tests, quizzes, and homework grades, then your grades are more likely to stay up. What this means at the high school level is you don't have all year long to go back and turn in missing assignments or to redo work. You're given 90 minutes every day, and during that 90 minutes, you have instruction. Sometimes they give you options to do homework or if you have time, but you have to turn in your assignments. And I know some of the feedbacks that you're worried about your grades or worried about the level of work or expectations. You are expected to turn in your work when it is due so that you don't have all year to turn in your work is what I'm trying to get at. So you have 4 classes in the fall, 4 classes in the spring. At high school, you have to earn credit. In middle school and all through elementary school, you got a grade on your report card and you were either passed or you were held back. Most of you guys have passed even though you failed a class. That's not what it's like at high school. You have to pass the class in order to earn a credit. What is a credit? A credit is what the state of Tennessee says you have earned, keyword there, earned your high school diploma. So English is worth 1 credit. So for example, here at the high school, if you don't pass English, then we make you retake it. It's not like, oh, I didn't pass it, I'm going to keep, going on with my coursework. Nope, you don't pass a class, you get to take the class again, because you have to have 28 credits in order to graduate from Cleveland High School. You should have a copy of your 4-year course sequence, and at the top you'll see like freshman year. Those are going to be your required classes. 10th grade year, this is what we recommend you take in order to make sure that you graduate on time. 12th or 11th grade year and then your 12th grade year. And so this is going to guide us on the next 4 years of what classes you need to take. All right, so go ahead and get out your blank sheet of paper. We are going to make a sample schedule together, okay? And I need you to go ahead and draw on your paper the same diagram that I have here on your screen. Make sure it's a rectangle, and we're going to break those up into fourths. So if you need a few minutes to do that, we're going to talk about the difference in semesters and the difference in blocks. Fall semester, when I say fall semester, you get 4 classes. I mean August to December. That's going to be your first set of classes. And spring semester is when we come back from Christmas break, so January until May. That is spring semester, and you get 4 more new classes. So what I like about this schedule is, let's say you have a teacher in the fall semester and you don't really like them that much. Maybe you guys just don't really have jam. You don't have a good personality conflict or something like that. You don't have to have that teacher all year long. When you come back from spring, you have a whole new set of teachers. Maybe there's somebody in your class that you don't like. Well, you're not there with them all year long or stuck with them. You're only there with them until December, and then you get a new set of classes. So we have our first block, second block, third block, fourth block, that's in the fall, and then in the spring, again, we have 4 more new classes. Miss Whittington, why do we do this? Well, we want you guys to earn as many credits as possible. So what this allows is for us to earn 8 credits a year versus if we were on traditional schedule. What I mean by having the same teachers all year long, you would only be able to earn 7 credits. So being on a block schedule allows us to earn more credits towards graduation. Okay, so we're going to build a schedule together. If you will look at our screen, we have some required classes. You can look at the screen, or you can actually look at your course sequence paper that I gave you. You have to take English, you have to take math, you have to take science, you have to take wellness, and fine art. So you have 8 classes that you're scheduled to take your freshman year. 6 of those are already chosen for you. I know some of you have talked about class selection, so many classes to choose from. You really don't have many choices your 9th and 10th grade year. You might have 2 or 3 choices. So let's get started. All right, our first choice is English. If you are grade level English, you're going to have English 1. And if you're in honors, you're going to have pre-AP English honors. Honors is decided by your TCAP scores. We actually have a list of those kids that are going to be in our honors classes already. If you're in honors now, you're probably going to be in it here at the high school. So what we're going to do is go back to our sample schedule that you guys created, and in one of those boxes I need you to write in English like I did here. Go ahead, you can write in English, you can write in AP English. This is just a sample schedule for us so that you can understand what I'm looking at whenever I'm doing schedules. All right, so once you have that written in, that takes up one of our classes. So our next section that we need to choose is math. Math, we have 2 choices, just like with English. Most of you guys are in pre-algebra, which is grade level, like 8th grade level math. You're going to choose algebra. Algebra 1 here at the high school is a year-long course, and it's broken up into 2 sections. We have Algebra 1A and Algebra 1B, and it's a year-long, so it actually takes up 2 blocks on your schedule. If you are currently in Algebra 1 at CMS, your math class is going to be Geometry Honors, and Geometry Honors is only 1 block on your schedule. So that gives you a little bit more wiggle room than the kids that are in pre-algebra right now. I will tell you, if you are currently in Algebra 1 at CMS and you are not doing well, either you're failing or you have a D or so, you are not going to do well in Geometry Honors, and you may want to talk to your parents about retaking algebra next year at Cleveland High School. That will be an option. If you fail, you automatically have to retake Algebra 1. That's a state requirement, and it will be on your transcript. So you need to make sure that you talk that over with your parents. So if we look at our bingo card kind of type thing that we're doing here, Algebra 1A, you're going to take in the fall if you're in pre-algebra right now. Algebra 1B, you're going to take in the spring semester. If you're already in Algebra 1 at CMS and you're passing and you're good to go, you're going to take geometry, and that only takes up 1 section of your sample schedule. All right, so our choices in science are physical science and chemistry 1 honors. Physical science is grade level science that probably 90% of you guys are going to take. Chemistry 1 honors is based off of your TVOS score. You have to have a projection of 80% or higher. Actually have those already completed, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. So what we're going to do is, if you look at your sample schedule, you need to fill in physical science or chemistry honors, whichever one you think that you're going to be in. They only take up 1 block. Just so you know, like, this is a sample, but some people might have physical science in the fall, some might have it in the spring. It could be different blocks. It just kind of depends on our master schedule. So far, we have Air English, we have Algebra 1A and Algebra 1B down here in the spring, or you have geometry. You're either going to have physical science or chemistry honors, depending on your TVOS score. So already, out of the 8 classes, we have 3 to 4 of them already filled in with required classes. So you see, it's not as complicated as you might think. The next required class that you have to take, State of Tennessee says that you have to take it, is wellness. Wellness is a mixture of health and PE. Maybe 3 days a week you might be in the classroom doing health, and then the other 2 you're doing PE. When I say PE and wellness, it's pretty light. Sometimes I see kids playing badminton. We don't have the arena open right now, so sometimes kids are bowling in the hallway. Sometimes they're just walking around the commons, or when it gets nice, like it has been lately, they will actually walk the greenway. So nothing like real extensive. We do have them broke up into gender, so there'll be a boys wellness or a male wellness and a female wellness class. Wellness weights is for athletes, kids that are going to be playing sports at CHS. And wellness, you still have the health component, but for your workouts, they're more intensive. You're going to be lifting more weights. It's going to be more structured to keep you in shape for your sport. So you can write in one of your little boxes, it doesn't really matter where, wellness or wellness weights. If you're an athlete and you plan on playing at CHS, you're going to have wellness weights. If you're not, then wellness it is. Okay, we're going to spend a little bit of time here on fine arts because you do have a few choices to make. Fine art is a requirement, and most kids are going to take Introduction to Fine Art. We view that as a humanities. Well, what does that mean? Fine art, an intro to fine art, means that you will learn about different artists, music, sculpture, painting, different genres of those. You will learn the history of art. It's supposed to be an easier class in the freshman schedule. The other day, I was walking down the hall, I was going to tell you guys this, Mr. Gibson is one of our fine arts teachers, and I just thought that this was really cool. Have you ever seen like an opera singer and they sing so loud or so high that the actual like can break glass? That's what they were doing in class the other day. They were breaking crystal with their voice, and it was a really fun day that I got to stop in there. So most kids are going to go to Intro to Fine Art. This is how we determine if you're going to go to Intro to Fine Art or not. If you're in the band, that is your fine art. So if you want to do marching band, you also have to do concert band. So band is my favorite part of the fall. Like most people go to the football game to actually watch football. I go because I love the marching band. It's my favorite. So if you're going to do marching band, you'll put in one of the blocks in the fall, and in concert band, one of those in the spring, and that is your fine art. If you do not want to do marching band, it's too hot, it's too much work, you don't want to do that, you can just take concert band, and concert band is in the spring. So you can just put concert band in one of your blocks in the spring section. If you would like to audition for choir, that is a fine art. Choir is singing, and so it takes up 2 blocks. It's a year-long class. They do lots of really fun things, especially for Christmas. Right now, our Renaissance Choir is in spring break in Orlando, Florida, competing at Disney World. So that's a pretty cool thing. If you're on the color guard and you have the flags, you're doing the color guard at CMS and you're going to do it at CHS, that is considered a fine art. You can write in color guard in the fall on one of your blocks. Now we do have some other options, some fine art options. If you'll notice, I put are very limited. Seniors, juniors, and sophomores get to pick their classes before you guys. So I know that's a bummer. So I just wanted you to know that these are very limited because we don't have a lot of space for them, and upperclassmen get first choice. So we do have Art 1 that can be a fine art. We have Theater 1 and Music History. You can request those options. However, getting those classes is, again, it's very limited. They fill up very quickly, and you may not get one of those classes your freshman year, and you might have to take it when you're an upperclassman, and that's okay. Honest to goodness, guys, in August, I'm doing schedules, all that good stuff. I had 3 14-year-old boys at 3 different times crying in my office because they didn't get Art 1 and they want to be artists. Okay, well, honey, you can still be an artist and not have Art 1 your freshman year of high school. I bet Picasso didn't have Art 1 his freshman year of high school because it didn't exist. If you don't get these other options down here, it's going to be okay. You're just going to take fine art and we can revisit this your 10th grade year. So what that looks like on our sample schedule, if you're taking marching band, if that's something you want to do, you need to write that in the fall, and also concert band in the spring. I have a hard time saying that. If you're going to do choir, you're going to write choir in one of your boxes in the fall and one of those in the spring, because it is a year-long class to get ready for competitions. If you're going to do the color guard, you just have one box, and that is going to be in the fall because that's football season and that's when you guys are the busiest. You'll notice that I put fine art, intro to fine art, in bold, and it has the asterisk beside of it because most of you guys, that's the class that you're going to be in. And then I did put your other options down here. You can request it, but it is simply that, a request. It is not a demand. It's not written in stone. We'll try to make it work. If it doesn't, you'll go in the intro to fine art. Those are Art 1, Theater 1, and Music History. Okay, our next decision that we have to make is social studies. 9th graders do not have to take social studies. You don't take that actually until your 10th grade year. But we have an option for some people who are interested in taking it. This is an elective. You do not have to take this class. It is called AP Human Geography. You have to have 80% projection on your TVOS scores in order to take this. This is an honors class. It's an AP class, which means advanced placement. What that also means is at the beginning of the year, let's say you're going to sign up for AP Human Geography. It's a $40 fee. I'm like, what? $40 to take a class? That covers the cost of your AP exam. At the end of the semester, you take an AP exam. It's rated from 1 to 5. It's scored from 1 to 5. If you score a 3 or higher, you get your money back, and you also earn college credit. It will transfer to any college as a history class. So that's pretty cool. And a free credit at that. It is also part of AP Scholar, and I have the AP Scholar requirements on my freshman website. You have to take 3 or more AP classes and score a 3 or higher on those exams. So it's a pretty cool class. Again, you have to have the scores in order to request to be in that class. You do not have to take it, but it is a really cool option. So if you want to take AP Human Geography, go ahead and pencil that in on one of your remaining squares. Just depending on your math level and your fine art choice, and whether or not you want to take Human Geography, as you can see, my schedule is full. I'm done. Some of you might have 1 block open, and some of you might have 3 blocks open. I think that's the most. And you're wondering what you're going to fill those up with. Well, we'll talk about that next. Okay, so here are some of our options to fill up your schedule. We have CTE classes, that's Career Technical Education. You have some of those at CMS right now. Engineering with Mr. Odom, Broadcasting with Mr. Raper, and Medical Science with Ms. Crouch. At CMS, you have like those 3 areas. At CHS, we have 51 choices. Yikes, that might be a little overwhelming to you, but don't worry. Freshmen can only take 12 of the 51 offered because you have to take the intro classes in order to get into the rest of those classes. Don't worry, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to walk you through it starting now. Okay, so we're going to go through each one of your 12 options that you can select to fill up your schedule, okay? The first one we have is maintenance and light repair. That's also like Auto Mechanics 1. Some of you might immediately tune me out because you don't want to take auto mechanics, but I bet you want to drive one day. In Auto Mechanics 1, you learn how to change a tire, you learn about safety, you learn about how to change your oil. So there's Auto Mechanics 1, 2, and 3. Just because you take 1 doesn't mean you have to take 2 and 3. So it might be a good idea that you learn about different car features before you learn how to drive. So that might be an option that you want to consider. Health science is pretty self-explanatory. This is getting into the class you have to take before you get into sports medicine, anatomy, and physiology. Eventually, if you continue on the health science track, you'll be able to go to a doctor's office and intern there. You watch different types of surgeries or do x-rays and that sort of thing. So that's a pretty cool class. Introduction to business. Doesn't sound very fancy or very fun, but I will tell you that if you take intro to business, you will actually earn a free credit through Cleveland State for their intro to business class if you make an 80 or higher on your test, which I think is really awesome. Again, it's a free college credit. So if you take intro to business and you take your AP human geography, you can earn 2 college credits your freshman year. Intro to business, also if you're a computer person and you're interested in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you can take the classes at Cleveland State, take the test for certification in each of those areas. It looks really good on a resume. Plus, these are things that you're going to need to learn to do. You need to learn how to use these programs for your other classes and for college. Also, they talk about leadership skills and developing a team mentality to work with your group. So all things that are very useful in life. Marketing principles. A lot of kids ask what marketing is. Marketing is trying to get people to buy things, right? Like supply and demand. We have a Raider Trader that the marketing groups are over, and they sell t-shirts and water bottles and really delicious cookies also. But they learn the psychology behind different companies. So for example, the reason that McDonald's colors are red and yellow is because it has been scientifically proven to activate the hunger part of your brain and you eat more. If you are wanting to be a doctor, you might want to take marketing principles because one day you're going to own your own clinic and you need people to come into your clinic so that you make money. How are you going to reach those people to come to your business? If you're going to be a realtor, there are lots of realtors in our area, but you want people to buy houses from you because that's going to be your money and your income. How can you get the public to come to your clinic, use you as a realtor, come to your auto body shop? Those are things that you learn in marketing principles. Digital media production, they actually just won a national award for their work. This is formerly known as broadcasting. It is a really cool class. They use drones to take video and then they take them back to the classroom, edit those videos. There are some outside projects that you have to do like after school. So some of that might deter you, go ahead and try it anyways. Engineering applications is a really cool class. They have 12 different types of machines and robots that you learn how to code them, how to use a computer to make them work. Some using hydraulics or like pulley systems. The other day I was in there, they took a block of wood and they used their computer to tell the machine what they wanted, and they turned that block of wood into an ink pen. So pretty cool class to take. Okay, so some more options we have is cosmetology. They do the makeup for CHS Live, which is pretty cool. They'll do hair, nails, pedicures, all that good stuff. This weekend, they're actually going to be competing at Bradley Square Mall with Bradley and Walker Valley doing creative hair design. So that's pretty awesome. This intro to engineering is a little bit different than engineering applications. In intro to engineering, you actually sketch out new machines to do work. And so you're actually building the machine, where in the engineering application, the machine is already built and you're telling that machine what to do. So it's a little bit different. Our new class that we have this year is called STEM. It is a combination of computer applications, robotics, and aqua science. I can't give you a lot of details because it is new. We haven't had it yet, but this is what I was told, and it sounds like it would be really awesome. All right, our next class we're going to talk about is Leadership 1. When you get to the high school next year, you're going to see leadership students all over the class. They are all over the school. They usually have like bright yellow or bright orange obnoxious shirts so that if you get lost, you can find them and they will tell you where to go. They're really nice kids. We use them when we have new students and they need a tour around the school. We use them when the governor came to the school. We had them tell the governor about our school. So some public speaking. You guys have leadership at CMS, or you did. I hope that it's still a class. To take this class, it's by recommendation only. So if you're interested, contact the leadership teacher at CMS and let them know that you're interested in taking Leadership 1 here at the high school, and they might be able to recommend you. I saved our two most popular classes for last. That would be Criminal Justice and Culinary Arts. There's a reason I saved them for last, because we need to talk about it a little bit. Criminal Justice 1 and Culinary Arts 1 are by far our most popular class. That's great. I'm glad that they have a great program. The kids are really interested in it. Here's the problem from my perspective. This whole entire year, I have 75 seats for Criminal Justice 1, and I have 75 seats for Culinary Arts 1. Well, that sounds like a lot of seats. Let's look at the numbers. At CHS right now, there are 1,400 students enrolled. 420 of those are my current freshmen. And in your class, in the 8th grade class at CMS, there's 450 students. So do you remember the part where I told you that seniors, juniors, and sophomores get to pick their classes first? They can pick any classes they want, where freshmen are limited to these 12. So any of those 1,400 students can request to be in Criminal Justice and Culinary Arts. I don't mean to break your hearts, but the probability of you getting into Criminal Justice or Culinary Arts 1 is very small. So sometimes I have kids come in here, but I requested to be in culinary. Sometimes I just can't make it work. If there's no seats available, there's no seats. I can't, make another classroom or hire another teacher. That's not something that I can do. So just so you know, when you're picking your classes, I gave you 12 to choose from. I would like you to choose 3 or 4 that sound interesting to you and to fill in the rest of your schedule, our sample schedule that we've been making. You can request culinary and you can request criminal justice. I'm just letting you know that those are very difficult to get into. And even sometimes I asked Chef Rush, hey, is there anybody who doesn't like culinary? And he said, yeah, because kids think that you're going to sit in there and eat all the time, and you don't. You learn how to clean, and basically culinary 1 is about learning the sanitation laws and learning how to properly clean the kitchen, because if you can't do that, then you can't prep food. So just so that you're aware of that, so that you don't get here and you get your schedule and your little heart breaks because you didn't get criminal justice 1, it's not because it's a personal, they don't deserve to be in there. It's just because we don't have enough room. Okay, so I hope that this, now that you look at your sample schedule, I hope it made you feel better about your course selection and how that works. Maybe it's created some more questions. I do have this video up on my YouTube page that you can get to from the freshman website off of chsraters.com. Also, I have a link on the CMS website to my freshman website. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a YouTube link. You can click on that so you can go home, I know, in your free time, rewatch this with your family. This is not the first time you're going to hear about it. We are going to talk about schedules to death. This is the first time. We're going to talk about it again on April the 14th. It's a Thursday. That is 8th grade night at CHS from 5:30 to 6. All of these classes, these 12 classes that I just talked about, they're going to have tables all over the commons. You're going to be able to meet those teachers. You're going to be able to see things and experiments that they do in their classes, and they'll be able to give you a lot more detail about the things that they do and the things that might interest you. So I would really encourage you to come out 5:30 to 6. The booths will be open. Also, for athletes, if you're interested in playing college level ball, you're really going to want to meet with our clearinghouse representative and our athletic director. They're going to make sure that you understand the requirements to get into the clearinghouse, which will get you to play college ball, and the academic side of playing sports and what you need to do. So they'll be there. The band will be here. The choir will be here. It's going to be a good time. At 6 o'clock, we are going to start our presentation. You'll get to meet Mr. Riggins. I will be there. Miss O'Brien will be speaking with you guys. I will give you a whole packet of the course sequence, a map, and some other helpful information. So I'm telling you guys this in advance, about 2 weeks away, so that you can make sure that your parents can ask off for work, or you can get a babysitter, or maybe you can make arrangements to come with one of your friends so that you can get the information. It is going to be a fun night. It is very exciting. I'm excited for you guys. The most important thing to remember at this point is that everything's going to be okay. I'm your mama. I'm going to walk you through from the middle school to the high school. If you have any questions, you can email me. A lot of questions are going to be answered on April the 14th. So it won't be too much longer before I'm over there helping you guys do your schedule and also answer some more questions. So until then, I will see you later. Make sure you work hard, get smart, and be nice.